Hello and welcome to CCRS. And yes, I am present for this one. I was not present last week. I did say I fell asleep, but I think I was just saying that as an excuse to uh, say that I was actually watching a movie and I lost track of time. But it was easier to say that I fell asleep. But regardless, we're back and we are here at Pikes Peak for this week. Let me get my ticker stuff all put together. I gotta refresh that for every broadcast, so that's just gonna have to be something to deal with.
Connection lost.
And it looks like something's wrong with the TeamSpeak right now. I'm not sure if that is scheduled or not, but something is going on with TeamSpeak. Yep, that is. Everyone's aware that TeamSpeak is.
Connected.
Now it's back. That was weird. Well, haven't had that happen before, but we're back on the TeamSpeak. But yeah, I have the TeamSpeak open, that way I can hear the race official. Again, I didn't quite set it up for where y'all won't be able to hear him for when I'm soloing, so for the time being, we're just gonna roll with it, roll with the punches. Um, but yeah, this week I'm actually here, unlike last week when I was just not here. So yeah, that's baller. Other than that, not a lot to say. I know last broadcast IFAR 250 at Daytona did very well. So I want to thank everyone for watching that. And hopefully you'll enjoy this event. I didn't check to see how many laps it was. I want to see the fuel load too. But so game says 47 predicted laps, so it's an 80 lap race. So it'll about 5-6 lap leeway if we go green the whole way for strategy, if we see that. So it'll be interesting to watch for sure. I actually just hit V. Okay, well, this is Victor, currently 4th on the board. Another thing to note, go ahead and take a look at our point standings. Let me get a good area where I can show that without it being like in the way of something. This will be good. So we got our standings here. And currently our points leader, Neil Gallagher, 184 points to the season so far. Victor Delgado, 9 points back. Pretty close points leader right now so far in this season. I think we're... Actually, I didn't check to see where we are in the season in terms of where we're at, but I know we got some races left for sure. Brandon Beal, only 19 back. Gino Bonelli only 21 back. And Cameron Jamison, only 22 back. Garcia Moon only 34 back. Watch him for sure when these drop races start coming in. Garcia Moon, he's been, I think, had the better in points consideration, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, based on the max points. Sam Slazarski, he's 43 back. Jonathan Salos, after sleeping on the wall, is 51 back. Tala is 57 back, and then Kyle Watts 59 back. And speaking of Kyle Watts, he's currently top of the board right now here in Pikes Peak practice. About 10-ish minutes left. I'm being exact, approximate. Got about 12 minutes left, give or take a few things. So yeah, let's kind of go through the field like we did not last week, but week before at I forget where we even went. Week before, I think we went to I think Nazareth was where we went to, where they went to last week, but figuratively, that's not the last one I broadcasted. So the last one I broadcasted, I believe, was I can't remember for the life of me, man. Well, regardless, we're gonna do that again. I think it was it Vegas? But where it is. Anyways, like I was saying, second in points, Victor Delgado. He's running that 52 Coors car, currently sixth on the board in practice. Right behind him, John Felber. He's been putting together some good races here lately here in Gnarl and CCRS, and it'll be interesting to watch for sure in that number 03, currently 14th on the board. And first on the board, Mr. Kyle Watts. He's been undeniably one of the best we've seen, and I mean not to glaze or anything, but the stats speak for themselves ultimately. This guy's got a lot of wins in a lot of leagues, and you'd be surprised to think his first win actually in this league actually came at was it Trenton? Was the name of that track? I don't remember. But the last race of season 4 was his first win in this league, if I'm not mistaken. And he's actually had some pretty steady progress. Ultimately speaking, I'm gonna need to open the spreadsheet, man. I got so many stuff I need to talk about. I thought somebody sent their car file after the car file exploded. So yeah, Kyle Watts doesn't have a win yet this season, but ultimately 10th in points. He's had a good season though. I feel like he just hasn't. I think it's been an attendance thing. Actually, let me just double check. That way I'm not, because I have the spreadsheet open over here. It's a mix of attendance. It's a mixed bag. But another thing to note, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different winners this season. And, oh yeah, this is actually last week was a halfway point, so, this is race, crap, I just opened GIMP. Hope my game doesn't crash, but this is race 7 at Pikes Peak. And then next week is Evergreen. I have no idea what that track is. Now, if you keep seeing the game pauses, because I'm tabbing out looking at the spreadsheet, so, don't mind me on that. Alright, moving forward, Neil Gallagher, points leader, currently 12th on the board. He's been very consistent this season. I think that's what's held him up to the best. He's just been straight consistent. Won at Bridgehampton, and he's looking pretty good right now. William Viola, he didn't show up on my points, but yeah, that's William Viola. Sam Slazarski, he's in the points top 10 thing. He's just been hanging on, doing his best. He just got wrecked by Garson Millyoung. Oh well. Oh, that's something. Blake Kincannon, have we seen him at all since Saint-Air? Or not Saint-Air, it was Meadowlands. He did Meadowlands, got second. I don't think I've seen him since then, but looks like he's going to be racing tonight. Sebastian Amaya in 13. He's had a pretty solid season. Fortunately, not quite in the top 10 in points, however, so they're going to see if they can try to work on that. Brandon Beal, 3rd in points, currently 4th on the board. And actually, let's go to Sebastian Amaya. He's 9th on the board in practice. I just forgot to look at his. We already looked at Neil. Gino Bononi just won last week at Nazareth. Just so happened to be the one race that I missed. Well, to be fair, I'd only broadcasted one race before, but when I started broadcasting, I missed him winning. That's unfortunate, because he's actually kind of been struggling a little bit lately, and that one would have been nice to see for him, because, yeah, you know, when you're struggling a bit, you get a win. That's a good feeling, and I imagine he was feeling pretty good after that win. But hopefully he can do good tonight. Maybe we'll see who can, if that streak of, if we have our first multi-winner of the season tonight, but we're going to find that out a little later. Blake, Kyle already looked at him. Steph Thomas, I don't have his car. Why do I not have his car? That's a good question. Why I don't have his car it's beyond me, actually. I have no idea. Oh wait, yeah, it might be because he joined the server just now and I don't have it on the such. Cameron Jamison, league owner. I think Daytona was where they went recently. He won the plate race recently. I think it was Daytona. Might have been Talladega. There's Jarrett Gravois. I forgot to see where Cameron. Cameron's not set a board on the lap yet. And Jarrett Gravois, 16th on the board. He's got spuns out there. He's had a season and a half. Currently reading the rookie standings, so we'll see how that goes for him. Robbie Gilvin in that number 3. He's had actually a pretty rough season, but he hasn't ran a lot of races either. So hopefully he can get a good run at night in that number 3 car. Man, all the guys on the track are very low. Well, we didn't look at Garson. Let's look at Garson. 13th on the board. I didn't look where Robbie was on the board either, but we'll take a look at that here in a second. He's been pretty consistent, like I was saying. He's one to watch for sure in the point standings, even though he's not as close to some of those guys. But when you consider drop races as a factor, I think he will have an upper hand if he can keep some consistency going. And honestly, why am I saying honestly? We will see what happens there. He'll be one to watch for sure, I think. Robbie Gillen's second on the board. He's been pretty consistent in terms of speed this session so far. About 6 minutes left. So that's interesting. Yeah, that's where I put my pedaling around camera for some reason. I'm gonna do that cool camera again, so I'll probably just set it up when we go back to when we actually go racing. But let's see, that'd be a good camera over here. Somebody got loose. I don't know. I would like to know. Usually, you see someone complaining about the setup or something in the chat. I haven't seen anyone complain about the setup. Setup looks pretty good. People don't seem to be struggling at all during practice. I don't think I've only heard one person spin their tires, so that's good to note as well. A lot of people seem to. I'm not sure if they dig the setup, but from what I'm seeing and what I'm not seeing, I'm seeing this general consensus is people can hold on pretty good. The general consensus, obviously, but about 5 minutes left in the session. Some of these guys getting their last laps in just to make sure they're good and practiced up. Gino Bononi has taken the fastest lap on the board with a 27.402, about 4/10 faster than Kyle Watts. Did I say 4/10? I meant 4/100 faster than Kyle Watts. Or no? Would it be 4/10? I don't know my math. So you have second, you have a 1/10 of a second, which would be like the point, and then would it be 100th of a second for so wouldn't it be like so hundredths would be the third digit, the second digit after the decimal, then thousandth would be the third digit after the decimal, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's right. If it's not, I just straight up forgot. Some guys practicing their pit road. It's kind of what's didn't even practice pit road, just straight up. Oh, got a spinner over there, Brandon Beal. Kenneth Miller. This is Kenneth Miller. We didn't get to talk about Kenneth Miller. He's definitely one to watch for tonight, I think. Battle on the front straight between Gilvin and I think that's Moo Young. Nope, that is Gallagher. Me getting your cars mixed up is not my fault because they look the exact same. The only difference is the number. 2 yellow cars. I think one of those is the ones that isn't loading up for me right now. It should load up during qualify if I have it downloaded. That's if I have it downloaded, that is. Alright, let's see. More cars getting on the track. See if I missed anybody. I know I missed Kenneth Miller. Oh, we missed Cole Mather as well, 15th on the board right now. Then Miller with the 11th on the board right now, and potentially a concussion after hitting the. Oh yeah, he's got more than concussion. He's got brain damage after that. Unfortunate. I think that's teammates. Yeah, I don't know where that was. He hit the wall, but he hit the wall. I do know that. Right. There's about 2 minutes left. It's a good thing I started the broadcast later. I'd run out of stuff to talk about real quick because I think when we did that whatever that last track was that I broadcasted, I can't remember for the life of me for some reason. Actually, I can just go look at that right now. It was Kansas. Yeah, Kansas. I straight up was making fun of. I was trying to find reference points of the helicopter that was in the infield and AJ Rodriguez, and it said DMS, and it was Diesel Motorsports. I was like, oh yeah, that's Diesel Motorsports helicopter, AJ Rodriguez. I don't see either of them here tonight, so I can't do that, unfortunately. So I guess we'll have to find something new to find a direct reference to. Um, Shout out to the random two Red Bull haulers over there, and the random pit stall in the middle of the garage area. I just said garage in the worst pronunciation ever. There's the helicopter! There it is! I thought he wasn't real, but he's here. Does he have anywhere to land, or is he straight up just doing a flyby? I don't see any landing strip. He is landing anyway. He is landing on the campers. Never mind, he's landing in the middle of nowhere. He has landed in the void. That is an option. Is it a good option? Don't know, but it's an option. Shout out to the other two Red Bull cars in the entry of turn 3. Shout out to the random. Actually, that's not very random at all. That makes sense. Let's see what is. There's Gino. What's something we can give a shout out to for being absolutely nonsensical. This all makes sense. I can't make. Let's see what's that. This is just a scoring tower. I got nothing, man. A couple porta potties if you need to go to the bathroom real quick, I guess. Well, before I go lose my mind, let's check the current standings of the session. Not much changes. Gino Bononi still with the fastest lap. Kyle Watts second fastest lap. Robbie Gilvin with the third fastest lap. Blake Kinnon with 27.5. Oh wait, Robbie Gilvin and Blake Kinnon have tied for lap time actually for that third spot on the third spot on the board. So that's interesting. Toles is fifth on the board. Brandon Beal sixth on the board. Victor Delgado seventh on the board. William Viola 8th on the board. 9th on the board is Sebastian Amaya, and 10th on the board is Neil Gallagher. As practice is closing to its end. Hello, Brandon Beal in the chat. So, I think everyone's off the track. We're just waiting to switch sessions over. Oh, there's one guy left on the track. It's Mr. Blake Kinnon. Never mind, he's off the track now. I think it's because the session switched over. That is true. The session did switch over to qualifying. I'm going to get in and out of my car. That way these guys aren't waiting till, what's something I can stereotypically say would take a long time. That way these guys aren't, I can't even speak. That way these guys are not waiting as long as most people would wait at the DMV. So, yeah, we'll keep that in mind. Takes me a while to land some of these things I have to come up with. But yeah, qualifying, I assume they get 2 laps. I'm not 1,000% sure. Don't hold me to whatever regard you may say for qualifying laps, because I do not know, but I'm pretty sure they get 2, because that's usually what's normal. And we'll see who can get the pole. I know there's a few guys that do think they pretty much get it, but we will see how that compounds at the end of this run here. I think we're seeing .4s in practice. We could definitely see another .4, or potentially even a .3 if you calculate it right, because I think a .3 is possible. It would just take a bit of precision to get, but .4 would probably be the optimal to get here, but I'm not seeing any .4s. I'm seeing .5 from Gino and everyone else trying to hold on. Well, you know what they say, don't wait till the session's over until it's over. I think I just tripped over my words again, but basically, don't call it until it's like actually done. But I have a bad habit of doing that anyway, because most of the time you don't see anyone putting in a last lap effort. But I say most of the time, but there's always that chance that I'm wrong. I think, well, no, like I said, don't overcalculate it. All right, there's your starting lineup. Kyle Watts did not have a good lap at all. I think he spun out or something. Starting last of the cars that did qualify, not what I would have expected. But Gino Bononi, he's going to get the pole, and we got a Shejidan Motorsports front row with Blake Kincannon starting second. Brandon Beal, who's third in points, is going to start third on the grid for this race. Starting fourth, Tala Aziz. Starting fifth is Victor Delgado, who's second in points, and I'm back from Neil Gallagher. William Viola, P6 on the qualify board. And then P7 starting Sebastian Amaya. P8 starting Kenneth Miller. And starting P9 is John Felber. Rounding out our top 10, Steph Thompson, the 45. Our points leader, Neil Gallagher, got an 11th place starting position for this race. Sam Slazarski starting P12. Cameron Jamison starting P13. Ironically, a switch over from 31, which is his number. Cole Mather starting P14. P15 starting Kyle Watts, who I think spun on his lap or something of that nature. And Jarrett Gravois did not set a lap. He's going to be starting right behind that. And Robbie Gilvin and Garson Mueller also did not set laps, and they will be starting in the order of which they, I guess, did not qualify, or by number. No, it wouldn't be by number. I don't know. Random order by the game. I don't control it. Well, 80 laps, 47 laps on a tank. The last time I broadcast Kansas was low-key a wreck fest for CCRS standards. It sucks that the first race I did broadcast was the worst one since Pocono, in my opinion. Unless there was something in between I actually just straight up did not see. And there's a good chance of that because I did not keep up with CCRS much after Season 3. So, be interesting to see how that does. For sure. I think it was Season 3 that I quit keeping up with it. It was actually at the middle of Season 2, if I'm being dead real, wasn't it? Wasn't it Season 2? No, Season 2 was... Am I getting my seasons backwards? Is it Season 4? No, it's Season 5. Oh, right. I forgot they were in this mod last season too. Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense now. Yeah, no, I just wasn't keeping up with it, so if there was anything in between that was worse, then I don't know. But yeah, that's hopefully tonight's a lot better. But we shall see how that goes. We got almost 20 car field for tonight. I think that's pretty good for what we could have. Could potentially see some more drivers coming up here soon, potentially. We'll see. And yeah, not a lot else to say. Not Kyle Lutz. Gino Bononi starting pole. Kyle Lutz starting last of the people who qualified. And again, I'm pretty sure he messed up his lap. Some guys are testing their pit stops right now. I'm on the wrong camera. Yeah, you see Jared Roy and Victor Delgado III practicing their pit stops here, as well as Kyle Watts starting in the back because he got to stall further back. Or actually, no, he's just parking it for no reason. Okay, I say no reason, but got spinning around the pit roads. It's Kenneth Miller. There's Robbie Gilvin giving him a love tap. Yeah, I still don't have Steph Thomas's car. I don't know why. I thought I downloaded all the cars. I must have missed one. Ooh, big hit in the inside wall for 13. And 31. Inverted number. Nesquik. I do like some Nesquik occasionally. I'm more of a Fairlife kind of guy, though, when it comes to chocolate milk. Or I don't know if y'all have Highland Dairy. I don't know if it's a local thing or not, but I do like Highland's chocolate milk. Tula's is running it. I'm assuming it's a McDuffie throwback. Don't hold me to that. There you got Kyle Watts back on the track. We're in another pool ball car for Neil Gallagher's team. Blake Kinkin in the 15, starting second, like I said, for Shejidan. He'll be interesting to see how he does tonight. Then Brandon Beal in the 37, starting third. And Cole Mather as well, sponsor. I'm not going to say any of these guys sponsors. I'm not going to try to get copyright striked. I already got that once in 2018. Don't want that again. Stuff again. Can't see his car. Gino Bononi in that car. He usually runs a... Actually, you know what? He doesn't really keep consistent what paint scheme he runs across leagues. Just when he's in a league, he usually keeps a consistent paint scheme. Usually, at least for Gnarl's sake. Aside from that Target car he started running. I'm assuming that's a Jimmy Spencer reference, if I had to guess. He's starting on pole for tonight's race. And it'll be interesting to see how he does tonight. That is someone on the wall. That's 45. Cars coming out of pit road. Wow, look at this between Carson Booyoung and William Viola right there. Close battling right there. I'm obviously not going to use this. Oh, that's race time. Okay. There's a pace car there. Yeah,
race time. So rules for the race are: if we have a restart, it will be because we needed it. When we have a caution, it is from having a multi-car wreck. When we are about to go green, I'll call quiet zone where nobody can type in chat. Then control where it's up to the leader to type green into chat before he crosses the start-finish line. E-laps were projected to be able to make at least a little more than halfway of that. Good luck.
Why did I just hear a Discord leave sound? I'm in a Discord call right now. I didn't realize. I was muted though, so like no one realized. But that's stupid funny. I was in a Discord call that whole time. Oh man.
I have no idea, so I'm going to say no, you don't need to use the access. If I get proven wrong, then I will clear your black flags for that cycle and then say don't use it from then on. But for now, treat it as you don't need to use the access.
Alright boys, 80 laps. I don't know if we're going to use a restart or not, but regardless, we're going to try to cook on this one anyway. I want to say 18 cars lined up for tonight. Pikes Peak pace car is old, but so are these cars and the mod. Maybe not that old. Coming off a turn 4 to start this race, the Shejidan teammates are going to lead us to the green here at Pikes Peak. We'll see if these guys can survive a lap. The spectator cam for the time being. Brandon Beal up to second as we come to the completion of lap 1. And we will be good for the race to get going. Brandon Beal, after starting third, is up to second now. Currently see if he's going to try to battle Gino Bononi there for the lead early into this event. Blake Kinkin holds on to third, and Victor Delgado the third holds on to fourth, and Tallez is right there in fifth. Battle for sixth between the 13 of Amaya and Viola. It looks like Aziz may have had a mess up in the corner. That's going to allow Amaya to get a dive on entry, potentially for P5. And it looks like he's going to get it. Viola also taking advantage of this. And Viola potentially going to get a little bit hungry there. He's going to go for the 13 of Amaya for P5 now. Battle for fifth is cooking right now. Let's go spectator just to make sure nothing's going on up front. Something is going on up front. It is Brandon Beal to the lead. In that 37 Lionel Racing Chevrolet. He's pulling away. I'd imagine the rest of these guys, I'm going to assume, are tire saving. I think that's the mindset here, saving up your stuff. But Brandon Beal right now currently in the lead. See, the John Felber holding on P8 right now. He's got Neil Gallagher right behind him. And Cameron Jamison, Kyle Watts, And you got Cole Mather right there, P12. Robbie Gilvin trying to make some spots up, and he didn't qualify in that 3 car, so he's going to try to make some spots up here, potentially pretty quick, depending on how his race goes. And the car in the wall is the 45 of Steph Thompson. Again, I don't have that car for a reason, probably because I either didn't download it or he didn't send it, one or the other. Him and Garson Million currently battling outside the top 10. Jarrett Gervoy a little bit jittery, but he's holding on. Sam Zazarski, I believe the last running car right now. Just holding on, have a clean race. Brandon Beal right now, currently still in the lead. Gino Bononi keeping up with him. Question is, where are tires going to factor in? I imagine they're going to factor in here pretty soon.
Still green, thank you.
And I think there was something that happened. The 56 may have had an issue, I'm assuming. Yep, self-spin from the 56. And we keep it green. I'm not going to look at the whole thing. Y'all kind of got the idea. Well, you know, I'll be nice. Yeah, I just spun it. Kept it in the wall. I think kept it away safe from everyone else. And yeah. Hopefully doesn't ruin his race, but he's currently now the last running car. Gino Bononi has retaken the lead from Brandon Beal whilst we were looking at that crash replay. Blake and Kennan still holding on as well. We got a 3-car breakaway, but William Viola has been silently climbing his way up here as well. Don't be shocked to see him come up here with the lead late at the end of this. As we've seen Kansas, if y'all remember, we had a big battle between him, Clements, and Gino Bononi. Clements, and even I think Dylan LaPrade was in that as well, if I remember correctly. But a couple guys hit the wall. And I think one of those included, I don't remember actually, but something of that nature. Viola was there at the end. Didn't quite get it. We went to Joshua Clements, who I believe hasn't made a start since that race. But regardless, interesting nonetheless. So Brandon Beal has fallen now down to 4th after leading a few laps here in the beginning. Thought I heard someone spinning there for a second. Figured I'd check it out. Spectator, but regardless, the field has spread out pretty decently here, and I think tires are going to be everyone's main concern as we're about to complete the 10th lap of this race. It's Gino Bononi now starting to pull away a little bit in that 24 car. May try to go back-to-back here, but we will see. But I'm going to watch Viola here because I think they're thinking about this long run. Now, like I said, you have 47 laps on a tank, according to the game, so that gives you about a 5-lap leeway for strategy sooner or later into the pit road around lap 40. So we could see pit stops start as soon as lap 35 and as late as potentially lap 46 or 47. But I think most of these guys are going to split it in half potentially just to keep that modern ground, but I could be wrong. Got Sebastian Amaya there in 5th, holding on pretty good. Victor Delgado and Tola Aziz there as well. Let's go TV2. These cameras aren't bad, but like, I don't know. Like, they're not the best. Oh, that's ground clipping on TV2. That's not great. Oh well. Neil Gallagher going to go for an overtake on the 20. TV1 for this. Side by side. Neil's going to back off a little bit, but not to the point of losing that potential spot there for P6. I believe that's P6. No, P7. And John Felber, he finds some comfort potentially there as well, but Tala gets the run on exit. A little bit of server jitters, nothing too concerning. And Viola going to go for the overtake for P2 on Blake Kincannon. We'll see how far up Gino is now, with a bit of a gap now. And Still, TV1's not bad. I like TV2 better, but like it ground clips in 1 and 2. That's like my biggest issue with, well, specifically 2, not 1 and 2, but it ground clips. That's like my bigger problem with the camera, this camera. But like you can see more of the cars on the track with TV2 opposed to TV1. Got a battle in the back between the 03, it looks like. Between 03 and Kyle Watts. I think Kyle Watts is overtaking the 03 car. Yeah, he started in the back. Oh, and he's a little loose. Holds on to it. Nice work, John Felber. And it looks like Tala Aziz has gotten back around Neil Gallagher. I think these two are having a bit of a fight right now for position. And yep, here goes Neil. He's going to try to go back at it again on that bottom for P7. Or was it P7? Yeah, P7. Gallagher goes to the lower exit. And Watts is going to try to figure out his way around these two. Gallagher's not done with that 20 car. He's going to finally get around him. Alright, well, maybe not. Kyle Watts with a big send, or not a big send, but a deeper dive than those two, and he might even try to go for 27 here. It looks like it. Ooh, 3 wide briefly. Atala has to back out a little sooner. So Watts does a little bit of a send there. Nothing too egregious. Holds on to it. And they're still side by side as Kyle Watts is going to try to clear Atala Aziz here potentially on the exit of 2. As I don't believe the top line is optimal for being quicker. John Felber potentially going to try to go for that spot as well. Looks a little blocked from the 20 to prevent that as he goes a little bit more deeper of a send than the 03. But here comes Watts again trying to go for P7. He's going to get at the line, and he's going to clear his team owner for that spot. His team owner lets him by. It was a bigger race at hand. And he's going to try not to let up too much, let the 20 get back around him. He's worked around him twice now. Big battle for P8 now as Kyle Watts has gotten around both of them. 27 and the 20 for position. And John Felber right behind him. Go back to the leaders real quick. Haven't checked on him in a second. And it looks like William Viola has caught up to Gino Bononi. And Blake and Kennan holding on P3. Jared Roy a lap down. And where is Brandon Beal? He is struggling right now in that 37 car. Driving like a rock. Might have made a mistake into turn 1 that I didn't see. I had to guess. Oh, it looks like he might have a tire about to go down potentially, but we will find out here soon enough. Potentially. 97 might have a single car incident at one point. Oh, a little bit of a something there happened to the 71 in the corner. Might have got a little loose in the middle of the corner if I had to guess potentially. Maybe that air behind the 24 if I had to guess. He's holding on. I don't think it's going to be a pass that's going to happen in the next few laps, though. So we'll look at some other cars on the track. Jared Roy lap down. Kyle Watts now going for P5? Yeah, he's going through the field. Kyle Watts not much of a tire saver, stereotypically speaking, but to get through this field, he's done something right. Victor Delgado now under pressure from the 27 to Neil Gallagher. It's a big fight between these guys right now for this middle half of the field. Well, I say middle half of the field, middle half of the top 5. And this is also points lead implication as well. 9 points over Neil Gallagher is what Victor Delgado has at the moment. And these two are battling what may potentially be something bigger down the road, but that down the road is not right now. Dallas is potentially going for an overtake here into 1. Looks like he's going to do it. Not quite clear off the exit, but it looks like Amaya now under pressure now from the 27 is at 56. Jared Roy back going. Oh my goodness, he's warping. Holy moly, that was scary. From that 56. Oh my goodness. 56 put in the wall. Oh my goodness, that was scary. To be fair, he was warping. Pretty bad there. And I think he was diamonding the corner into the back of the 52 and hit the wall and almost got into Robbie. Very scary. Could have been there. Bile is still not quite up to the back of the 24, and I wonder if these guys are waiting to the end of this run. We're not quite there in terms of the run right now, but we will see how that fares out. Bile Watts, I imagine he's thinking about getting closer and closer to these guys, but I don't know when or how that's going to happen. I see some tire smoke there. I wonder what that was about. See anything from race control, so we'll see. But this battle right now heating up for P6. A lot of cars under a blanket. We've seen Victor Delgado, the third. Tullas is now John Felber in the mix. Sebastian Amaya, I think his tires got cooked. Same with Brandon Beal. He fell back a ton. I'm not even sure if he's in the top 10 anymore. At 37. Barely outside of it. Robbie Gilvin's still climbing his way up. Not quite as fast as Kyle Watts, but I wouldn't count out that 3 car just yet. Victor Delgado gets around the 13 of Sebastian Amaya. And this battle between Aziz and Gallagher is still going on. This is for P5 now. These two cannot get away from each other. So far racing pretty clean, which is good to see. John Felber right behind these two, waiting for one of them to make a mistake. Try to get around both of them potentially. Still battling pretty hard for that spot. And P5, oh, Neil Gallagher going to lose a bit of time on the high line. I think John's going to do the slide job, and Gallagher doesn't want it. Oh, big block there from the 03. Gallagher has to lift not to wreck him. I don't think Felber's done yet. He might have his eyes on that 20 car now into 1. Goes for the send. Gallagher also goes for the send. Oh, big send there. Gonna try to arc, or he's gonna try to, I think, diamond the corner. Is this in the wall? Oh, Gallagher has the back out again. Thought about it going 3 wide. Imagine that 27 car is not pleased with this. Big battle for P5 right now. Felber loose off of the exit of 4. Aziz with the run on the top. The guy's pitting this time. Mostly cars in the back. Felber again going to try a bit more of a thing. Tulla is pinching him, making sure he doesn't get that run on exit. That's actually going to really affect his run on the exit. Gallagher going to potentially go for the send here. Not better, but Delgado's in the mix now. Once again. For this spot. Felber's not done. He still has a slight. He's going to send it deep here. A little close to the line, but he holds on to it. Aziz is going to lose a lot of time on the top. I'm wondering if he's going to try to arc the corner like Neil Gallagher did. Looks like, oh, Felber loose off a 2. And Aziz is going to send it here for P5, but not quite as deep. Gallagher has to parks the corner on Gallagher. That allows Victor to potentially try to post his shot back at trying to get around the points leader. But Robbie Gilvin's now in the mix. Wow, this is some good racing. Holy. Granted, it's in the back. I wonder if, with all this happening, I wonder if Viola's gotten around Benino. They're actually battling for the lead right now. My timing of thinking about this is insane. Viola now organizing a pass, lap 35. The pit window is opening pretty much right now. Just the question is, do you want to pit early or you want to pit later? And that question is an open door now, I believe. Could see some guys pitting this early. Now the 56 and 0, I think, having to pit for tires before fuel, and I think fuel is going to be the bigger problem here. But Benito finally down to second. Blakenkin still holding on third. Fourth is Kyle Watts now. I don't know. Yeah, let's go spectator. And he's pretty far back. Then behind that, we're a good bit. Kenneth Miller is a lap down. Then John Felber in 5th, who's keep going to the pace car. I hate how when you're switching cars it goes to the pace car when you're like doing that switch thing, but honestly I think in some circumstances it might not be that bad. And Steph Thomas, first of the cars that are with the open pit window to announce they are going to pit road this time. Granted, Honestly, just outside the top 10, not a horrible place to be. They're going to get really tight, though, trying to get in here. That might cost them a bit of time, but looks like they got it all right. And that 45, or being a little conservative, make sure they don't speed. John Felber also win. I didn't expect that. He must have had an emergency idea there. Tall as is, I think he was trying to get Tall as is in there as well. And Tala making sure to pit right after the 03 pit. The 03 did not announce he was pitting. That's a strategy some of these guys use to try to gain spots on pit road. And that'll be something to watch. Iola now on pit road. They might have sped. They had a really big thing there. Someone had, I think they had a lockup. Not concerned though. I think they're going to take 4 fresh tires and full tank of gas. Well, yeah, full tank of gas. In that 71. Gino Bononi's still on the track. I believe he's pitting this time, if I had to assume. Stay out, lead one more lap. Or no, he's going to hold on. Maybe he might be waiting till the end of this fuel run. He's got a few more laps left in the tank there in that 24 car. Also yet to pit is the 15 of Blake McKinnon. And Kenneth Miller, I believe, has already pitted, but he's off sequence and a lap down, unfortunately. Kyle Watts now on pit road from 3rd. And Garson Muyung and Neil Gallagher still on the track. Neil Gallagher, I believe he did pit in that 10 car. Don't hold me to that, but I'm pretty sure he did pit. I said the 10 car, I meant 27. 13 is Sebastian May. I believe he was one of the cars that maybe had a mistake on pit road entry. Oh, they actually had a big mistake. Let's see what happened to them. Let's see what happened to Maya. They are out of the race. I believe they were trying to pit, and then let's see, came Jamison to the wall. Oh, that's gonna end your race right there. Unfortunate. All I gotta say. Gino Bononi now on pit road. He's getting his service done. Waited about flat 41. He could have extended it longer, but decided against it. Victor Delgado's pitting on the same lap as him. He's a bit more time back, so he's going to lose some time here. But Gallagher, he's still making through the field. Jamison, I believe he's pit. Don't hold me on that. 70 of Garson Muyung now also going to pit road. Oh, he missed his box. Unfortunate for that 70 car. That's going to cost him a ton of time. They came in from 2nd. They were going to try to leapfrog some of these guys, or not leapfrog, but overcut. But unfortunately, that missed their box is going to cost them a ton of time. Blake McKinnon out of pit road from the lead. He led a lap there. And it looks like Neil Gallagher might have a chance of passing him. Now, again, remember, once they get around him, there's still another like half this race to go for these guys. It's going to come down to who can save their tires better than the other. And I don't know if Blake had a bad sequence or if Neil did, but timing and execution is key right now, and it's going to come down to who has done it best, especially if this stays green, on who tackled that the best. Let's go ahead and take a look at our scoreboard. Sam Slazarski on the 97 off sequence. That's why he's in the lead. But hey, let's lead some laps with this off sequence. So nice to have. But behind him, for position, Kyle Watts. Looks like he had the betterment of this strategy so far. He put him in the middle of that, honestly. He doesn't have a big disadvantage right now, as some would think he would. Yeah, he just has a really good lead right now. I don't know if anyone's going to try to catch him or not, but we will see for sure on that front. Gets around Sam Slazarski for the lead. He's on a different strategy, but leads some laps out of it. Not a horrible idea. Yeah, and he's off sequence. He's going to have to pit twice, same as the 0, who's lapped down. Viola on this strategy in 2nd. 3rd on this strategy, Gino Bononi. Blake McKinnon comes out 4th on the strategy. 5th, Neil Gallagher. So it looks like he finally was able to stay ahead of the 20 and the 52, but we'll see how long that lasts. Robbie Gilvin holds on pretty good right now. John Felber, ooh, hits the wall. I don't know what happened to him. I think he overcooked the corner. Nope, looks like he got loose on entry. Cold tires will do that. Yep. Ooh, nice save there from John Felber. Fortunately, it's going to cost him a little bit of bodywork damage, but a lot better than fully spinning around and losing a ton of spots. So that's going to cost him, but it cost him way less than it could have if he would have whipped it around. But Tala as is, P8 right now on the board. I'm not going to go through sequence anymore because I can't keep up with that. I think everyone, well, there's still about a lap left. Potentially somebody pit, and I think that's a 97, obviously, but, well, more than a lap for him because he pitted earlier. There's Jamison. Gravoy laps down. Delgado, I think he had a bad stop. He's a little bit further back than some of these guys, and Sam Slazarski finally committing to the pit road after leading a few laps in that 97 car. I don't hate the call, honestly. Stay out late a few laps and see what happens. And there ain't nothing happened, but hey, led a couple laps today. Can't complain of that. Brandon Beal, he's holding on. He hit the wall at one point, I think, but he's holding on top 10 so far, so don't count him out. There's Young with that pit stop. Mr. Box, they're further back now. Steph Thomas still holding on. He was one of the first guys to pit under that strategy, so I don't think his undercut worked that well, unfortunately. But yeah, they're also going to have the oldest tires at the end of this thing too, so hopefully something works out for him in that 45. Cole Mather right now, he's holding on just outside the top. Actually, I think that's everyone that's like in that group. Only 15 cars in the lead lap. Cole Mather, let's go a lap down. And everyone else is off sequence or just not there. And Sam Slazarski they're gonna lose a lap after that strategy and some spots too. But he ultimately led a lap. So I mean, like in my opinion, that's not a loss, but it's not a gain either. Figuratively speaking, it's a loss, but I mean, hey, you led a lap to the day. You knew you weren't gonna win it anyway. You might as well do something. You might as well add something to your stat sheet. Kyle Watts right now holding on to the lead. Question is, oh, Viola with a mistake. Big loose there from the 71. I wonder if they got a tire down or something. Big loose there from the 71. No, I don't think they had a tire down. I think they just got insanely loose on entry. That 71 car. Yeah, a lot of big slide there. Nice save though. Unfortunately, like I said with John Felber, yeah, big loose there. Got some body shop work, and that's gonna allow Gino Bononi to get around him now. Come back live. Let's go spectator. This is your gap between the top 5. They're kind of under a blank, unless that car behind Blake is not in 5th. That would be correct. That car behind. So Neil Gallagher kind of in his own space, so he's got his own race to run. I think he's at the biggest advantage of the guys in top 5 in terms of where he wants to put himself for the end of this thing right now. But we'll see. Robbie Gilvin, he is putting in work to try put himself in contention, and I honestly think this race is very track position oriented, specifically with the fact that we've been green this whole time. But I think not qualifying has cost Robbie Gilvin a chance that potentially would have been a better finish, but it's not over yet. A lot can happen. He's actually having a pretty good battle there with Tala Aziz and John Felber. Been fun to watch tonight, that 20 car in the 03. Neil Gallagher finally got away from him. And we were talking about Victor as well with that points lead battle in mind as well. He is also fallen back quite a bit, down to 10th. Rough race for Victor. I don't know if he missed his box or what, but had a slow pit stop. And that's not helped him. Might be onto I looked at where they were racing next week and I already forgot. I'm good at this. Let's see. Gerson, 11th. Man, this feels all over the place now. I can't even keep up with it. Start thinking about the end of this thing now. As Cole Mather has gone a lap down now. I think next car to go a lap down is Steph Thomas. So I think Steph is ultimately in a bad strategy. And if you ask me, he pitted first. Now has the oldest tires in the field, and he is the last running car in the late lap. So unfortunate for the 45, but hopefully his race ends a bit better. Gino Bononi, he's holding on. Viola is struggling now. Oh wow, okay. Why do I keep catching Viola when they have miss? Oh my. Well, got passed by Kinkinnon. Single car accident. No caution, but loose, and this time couldn't save it. Unfortunate. They were having a good race going, but I think that pretty much ruined it. Not much they could have did where they came out of that. Ooh, man, they could have prevented themselves from scaring the guys like that, but regardless. Oh, again, we're struggling. Wow, they're not having a good time, that 71. I don't know. Oh, that's rough. That is rough. Well, that's something. Roy, I think, again, one lap down. He's just trying to hold on. Steph Thomas about to go a lap down, like I mentioned. And Gino Bononi really main competition now behind Kyle Watts is William Viola. Ultimately, I was thinking it's going to be the guy to potentially put something into the loop here, but they unfortunately did not have a good finish there. As William Viola has retired from the race now after their struggles. So yeah, that's unfortunate. Third place, Blake Kinkinnon. Man, I need my timer up there. Anyway, he's like 4 seconds. Oh my gosh, the time between these guys is insane. Now the lead pack or the lead battle is crazy. There's still another 20 laps to go too, man. That's a long one, dog. Oh my goodness. I can't even say for sure because like some of these guys might be like tire saving to infinity. I'd say Victor Delgado might have had a bad strategy. You know what? He might have had a bad strategy, but you know what? I don't know. There's so much I don't know about because it's gonna come down to the precision and the mastery of tire saving and the ratio between if you're saving too much and if you're not saving enough. And we're gonna find out here soon who has mastered it here. And honestly, I think it's gonna be very cool to see towards the end of this. But like I said, I don't know. There's so many unknowns because you don't know how much these guys are saving. You don't know how much these guys are pushing. I say that actually. You could probably look at the cars and know and how they're entering their corners. But like, I'm not gonna go on far chase and do that. Or maybe some of y'all could tell. I can't tell from like TV cams, for my opinion. Like, I mean, if like I do a straight comparison, maybe, but at the end of the day, I'm just gonna presume some of you guys that might be watching might know who's saving better, who isn't. I know who guys who typically save better and who typically don't, based off the dynamics, and honestly, I would probably go off that as well for just statistical measure and just keeping up with the norm, I guess you could say. But I have guys who I'm looking at, guys who I'm not looking at. I'll say that. Neil Gallagher up to 4th with Viola's mishap. John Felber and Tullas is once again going at it for position. I think Felber's faster than Aziz right now, and has been most of this race, just has not been able to get away from him with slight mistakes here and there. And Robbie Gilvin also, I think he's also faster, but I think he's tire saving. That's why he's holding on back here. He's just tire saving to the point. I think he wants to tire save more, but I think he can only tire save so much with that 20 car behind him. But I could be wrong with that as well. I think it could also be all three of these guys are tire saving, not really putting pressure on each other. That might just, I don't know if draft helps at all, but it's there. And with such a long amount of laps to go, I don't know if this top 10 is going to stay the same. I honestly don't think it will. I think there's going to be a lot of changes here in this top 10 before this thing's said and done. for sure. So we will find out. That lead is actually getting larger now. Kyle Watts has shown his abilities nicely of driving these tracks. And Brandon Beal, his run is going to get cut short. I'm not sure if he cut a tire or what. Or maybe didn't get enough gas. Maybe pitted too early, maybe pitted too late. But he's going to have to pit a second time tonight, unfortunately. He might have pitted earlier and I didn't notice, but I can't say for certain because I didn't notice. Well, I say these guys weren't battling. It looks like John Philber's gotten around tall as is quite nicely there. Question is, will it stick? Robbie Gilvin in pit road now. You know what? I think I know what some of these guys were doing. Some of these guys, I mean, they didn't do it in the beginning stint of this thing. I think some of these guys are going for a three-stopper, or not a three-stopper, but a two-stopper. When you could go for a one-stopper, I think tires is that important. We will see. I don't know. I think honestly those guys up front are set right now pretty nicely right now. But and that could be another thing. Maybe guys using up their tires too much in this second run compared to the first. But we had two guys pit already in this second run. That like we're on sequence to the first run. It's gonna be interesting to watch. We're approaching 10 to go now, actually. So, I originally thought it would be a lot more changes in the top 10. Granted, there has been with consideration of things that have happened to other guys on the track, but all in all, it looks pretty similar to opposed to what I was expecting. A lot can happen in less than 10 laps, though. We will see. But right now, it looks like Kyle Watts has got everything going for him right now. He's got Gino behind him, and he's pulling away. And you know what? He hasn't won yet this season. So if he wins, that would keep up the consistency of new winner every race for this event. Like Brandon Beal with that fresher tire is going to try to unlap himself here from Kyle Watts. Is he unlapping himself? Like, unlapping himself? Or was he, like, 2 laps down? Yeah, he was 2 laps down, so, yeah, unfortunately, that decision to pit has cost him a top 10 potentially, but not over yet. Still got, 6 to go at the line. Go TV, or not TV, well, spectator. Kind of give you all an idea how far back Blake and Gino are. They're not, yeah, they're pretty far back actually. Barely see them when they roll into the clip. Coming to 5 laps to go here. What was this track again? Pikes Peak? Yeah, Pikes Peak. Take a look at some other cars before we end this race out. See if there's any other battles on the track potentially. Cole Mather holding on 10th. Neil Gallagher with a pretty good solid top 5 right now. Just had a pretty clean race for that 27 car. Despite having to battle with the 20 and the 03 to get it. Robbie Gilvin, he's trying to make up spots towards the end after having to pit late. Is that Cameron Jamison for position? No, he's a lap down, okay. And Victor Delgado, I think he had a bad pit stop. He's going to hold on with the top 10 potentially. Garson, after all that, is going to try to come out with the top 10. Slazarski, he's on his own strategy, which, I mean, it's not the worst, but we talked about it earlier, how that was going for him. Coming to 3 to go this time for the 21 of Kyle Watts. I don't see any other battles on the track going on right now. It looks like this field is pretty much set. Spectator for these last few laps, kind of 3 seconds back is 24 and 15. And I think the 15 may have a late race shot for the 24 if it gets down to it. I didn't do the cool restart thing, did I? No, 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 I did. Two to go now here at Pikes Peak for Kyle Watts. His consistency has been amazing. In Gnarl, he's got 2 wins now, just one last week in Gnarl. I forget where that was, but the fact, that's still impressive. Coming to the white flag here at Pikes Peak. Kyle Watts has one more lap around to go this racetrack. There he is, Kyle Watts. He's going to come off of turn 4 here for the final time. And that number 21 pool ball blue car, Kyle Watts, is going to win here. CCRS Season 5, Pikes Peak. Gino Bononi second, Blake Kinkin in third. I believe Neil Gallagher's going to hold on to P4. Where the... Hold on, where's Neil? There he is. Actually, yeah, no, he's going to hold on. Yep. And John Felber is going to be ahead of Tall Aziz. And after Tall Aziz is Victor Delgado, and then Carson Muyung. And I don't remember the rest of it because everyone else is like several laps down. Congratulational taps from the 24 to the 15. Or not the 15, but the 21. Kyle Watts. Good race going there. He's going to burn it down here at Pikes Peak. He's going to hit the wall and tear up the car. That works too. I don't own the car, so that's not my problem. Well, bent up on the back end, but that don't matter. He's in victory lane. Well, actually, it might matter. It's the 90s, but still, you get the gist. Oh, I just realized this camera, you can't see him through the smoke at all. Where's that brother at? I can't see him. There he is. Peekaboo. There he is doing that burnout. We've seen this with Alexander Gonzalez Green this last Sunday in DSRA at Lime Rock. He has once again hit the wall. The body shop boys are going to be pissed after this. I'm joking. It's the 90s, but it's a 20-year-old game. Give him a break. Look at that. Nice burnout there from the 21. Kyle Watts. And that, hey, he's done. I don't blame him. That was a long burnout. Holy. You know, I'm going to make it look like a wildfire came through here the way he put the smoke up out. Gosh dang. Alright, so now comes the time, everyone's favorite part of this, or I say everyone's favorite part, but the part people like to watch is the results. And after the results, we're going to see if there's anyone in our waiting room, and we'll bring them up to the booth, talk to them, see how they're doing. Alright, P1, Kyle Watts. I don't know how many laps he led, but he led the final lap of the race after the pit stops. Gino Bononi, after dominating the first half, unfortunately going to have to settle up for the bridesmaid position. Blake Kinkin holds on P3, just a couple tenths behind his teammate. I say a couple tenths, about 4 tenths. Neil Gallagher had the upper hand there with the guys he was racing. Finishes P4. John Felber with a top 5. Tall Aziz P6. Second in points, Victor Delgado is going to lose some points to the points leader Neil Gallagher after this. He's holding on P7 in points. Carson Muyung P8 in points. Last running car on the lead lap. And Steph Thomas and Cole Mather round out your top 10, a lap down. Robbie Gilvin had to pit late. He's going to finish 11th. Cameron Jamison, I imagine, also had to pit late, finishes 12th. And along with Braden Beal, who also pit late, P13 after starting 3rd and late in a few laps. Had a good day, though. Unfortunately, just didn't get the result he wanted. Sam Slazarski also led a few laps. He's going to be finishing P14. Kenneth Miller finishes P15. Then P16, Jarrett Gravoy, 4 laps down. Then William Viola had a pretty good race going, but unfortunately got loose and lost it, and his race just never recovered after the first loose instance from that 71, and he ended up retiring from the race. And Sebastian Amaya ended up hitting the pit wall, and that ended his race as he was trying to enter pit road. So that was unfortunate for sure. Well, let's see if we got anyone in our waiting room. and we got a few guys. Let's go in order of finishing position. We'll go with our winner, Kyle Watts.
Buddy was moved
Yeah,
to your channel.
I
Hello?
kidnapped you. Hello. Congratulations on the win. How we feeling?
Dude, I need to keep starting last. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I screwed up qualifying and was able to get it done still. So
Yeah, I imagine, I know some guys, they like starting in the back. You passing cars is fun, isn't it?
it is, yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's still coming out on top. You did the first challenge. Well, I mean,
Mhm.
kinda. You qualified last, so that still counts in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I just persevered. I didn't make any big mistakes. I made sure to undercut because that was going to be the only way I was going to gain time on Gino and them. And I really thought Gino was going to come at the end there, but I guess the tires just didn't last for him.
Yeah.
So.
Well, first win of the season, if I'm not mistaken. Also, your second CCRS win? Is that right?
Third.
Third. Okay, yeah, I knew I missed something. Was this your first one of the season or
Yeah,
second?
first of the season.
Yeah, that keeps up the trend of this is 7 races now, and we've had 7 different winners in a 12 race season. It's pretty impressive.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, I don't got any questions specifically. Do you got any other thing you want to know before I let you go?
No. I like to shout out to Neil though for making the car. He's the goat.
Yep. Pull Ball Racing Incorporated.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got for you. Congrats on the win, and are we gonna
Thank
see you
you.
tomorrow in Gnarl?
Yep, you'll see me.
All right. We'll look forward to that.
See ya.
Adios.
Buddy was moved out of your channel. Buddy was moved to your channel.
What happened to John Felber? I've seen him in the waiting room. Do you know?
I think he just wanted to go. I thought he was gonna take a while to wait, or I guess he's wanted to do something else, so
That's fair.
he
Yeah.
left.
That's fair. He had a really good race going. He finished P5. And
Yeah.
you and him were battling all race. And then that first beginning half, you had Neil
Oh,
Gallagher
yeah.
up there as well.
Oh wait, does not broadcast right? Cause
Yeah, it's
or,
broadcasting. Yeah,
oh,
I'm broadcasting
okay,
right now. Yeah, don't be saying no racial slurs, man. Can't be doing that.
I'm not you, little bro.
Bruh.
But no, yeah, no, me and Felber and Neil were like together for that entire run. I thought at first, I was like, okay, I thought downshifting because everyone was downshifting. I noticed in like practice you could downshift, but I thought like that would be used for qualifying only. So I thought I would just kill my tires more, but then everyone was downshifting. Even Neil was. I'm like, okay, maybe you can downshift and save tires, but I gave up a lot of time for that. I was just trying to be careful and not wreck it as well. And then Neil pitted, and I was kind of wanting to, like, I'm still not the best with pit strategy, so I just pitted like a couple laps after, and he got a big jump ahead of me and Felber. And then me and Felber decided to stay behind Robbie for a bit because we were first catching Neil, but then Robbie used up his stuff, so then we just tried going for it, and then yeah, it was a clean race. It was a smooth race. The only really notable thing that happened was the 71 nearly wrecking in front of me, and then nearly wrecking me entering the corner.
I seen that. That was fun.
I have thoughts on that I won't say here, but anyways, yeah, solid race by me. I probably could have done better on my qualifying lap, but I still got fourth at that. And then, other than me like kind of giving up time because I wasn't using third gear, I'm really happy with how this race went. Clean race, no errors. Didn't speed into pits as well or anything, so brought it home with a somewhat clean car. I only bopped the wall a couple of times, but that's just setup being tight. So, yeah.
Well, I don't specifically have any questions for you. Is that all you had in terms of notes?
Yeah. It's a fun track. I feel like more leagues should go to this version of the track rather than like a very gripped up version of it. But like, because the tire strategy was pretty fun too. Trying to save your stuff and everything. I was saving my tires really well. Actually, in the first part, is that like for my standards at least, and then I kind of used it up a little bit for the second part, but it was not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. So, overall solid race, and can't wait for next week.
All right. Well, we'll see you then.
All right, see you, man.
Buddy was moved out of your channel. User was moved to your
Mr.
channel.
Steph Thomas, how we doing?
Doing great. Finally got a top 10 in something this year, the beginning this year, 2025. So I guess that's an all right start. Just after all the pain, I'm just glad to just even get ninth.
Yeah, I seen you were struggling a bit in that race. I noticed when you pitted originally, I think I seen you pit around lap 36. Was that right?
I think so, yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah, you were the first person to pit, which I was thinking someone was gonna open that strategy up sooner than what most of the guys were. Did you think that was that like planned, or like was the tires starting to kill you there?
Well, it was the tires, and then I realized that if I just saved a little bit after that, I could probably make it on fuel. Then I realized that maybe I could just try saving the tires and then just stay out the whole rest of the race, and that did end up working. It was a bit of a long shot. Just wanted to try it out, and I guess it worked. Put me from I think 16th to ninth, so that's pretty nice.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed is, trying new things and making them work is definitely probably one of the best things in terms of, improving as a driver, in my
Oh
opinion.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I don't think I have any other questions for you. You got any other thoughts on that race you might want to say?
It was quite fun.
Yeah, it looked pretty fun. 100% green flag race.
Oh
Flag to
yeah,
flag, green,
I
80
know a
laps.
lot of people like the cautions because they can pit and stuff and get free position, but I don't like the cautions. They just mess up the whole flow of the race. I know people like them, but I don't.
Yeah, one thing I did find very interesting is that this race came down purely to saving your tires and not saving your tires. I think it came down to that ratio, and ultimately, I think pit road also had a factor in that. I think some guys
Yeah,
didn't quite hit their marks on pit road as much as they would have liked to. But other than that, it was a pretty good watch. Really good strategy too.
yeah. All right, that's it.
All right,
See
well, I'll
ya.
talk to you later.
User disconnected from your channel.
I seen some other guys in here acting like they want to get interviewed, but I don't know. I guess they don't know how it works, or they don't feel like it, or they changed their mind. I'm not sure. Regardless, um, yeah, I think that's it. Um, I do want to look at the export real quick. I'm curious. Oh, do. Do let the most laps. And after I check the spreadsheet, see who led the most laps and all that, and I'll go ahead and call it a stream. Oh, we got Brandon Beal in the right waiting room. Okay, we'll take a look at him here after I look at this spreadsheet. So, fastest lap went to, actually I could look at that in the broadcast real quick. Kyle Watts actually did lead the most laps, over 5. Gino Bononi led 31. Blake Kendall led 2. Brandon Beal led 4. Sam Sazarski led 3. And William Viola led 4. Interesting. Let's see, fastest lap was Kyle Watts. Nicely done. Let's get Brandon Beal in there.
User was moved to your channel.
Man, I'm
Well,
glad you went
hello.
there when you did. I'm almost done the end of the broadcast.
Yeah,
Led some laps, started third, was running pretty good. I imagine it was tires that were killing you there at the end of that run.
yeah, it was the tires. I tried to, kind of do a different strategy than everyone, but it didn't work out. So it's all right. It's my first, I think, not non-top 10 finish or second this season due to some pit strategy. So
Yeah,
it's whatever. I'm glad I led laps today. I went for it and I ended up leading up a laps. That's all I'm proud about.
yeah, you had a pretty good race going. Unfortunately, things didn't work out in the end. I don't have any, other than that, I don't really have any specific questions. You got any other thoughts on the race?
I thought it was all right. I mean, figured out the track pretty well. I kind of figured out how to kind of not really send it dive bomb, but kind of make the corners and make them stick, and that's how I ended up getting the lead for a couple laps. And unfortunately, my tires fell off, and I fell back. I think like to like 12th, I think, before I started pitting. So yeah.
Well, hopefully that was a pretty good experience. Maybe move on next week. Potentially get another top 5. We'll see.
Where do we race next week?
Let me actually have it open on my thing. Let's see. Evergreen. I don't know what
Oh,
track
that's
that
right.
is. Is that like a road course, short track? I
I
have no idea.
forget. It might be a road course. It might be a short track. I don't know.
I'll find out when I get there.
Yeah, because I keep thinking Pikes Peak was a road course, but
I thought that too, because they have that Pikes Peak
yeah.
thing, but I guess it's like a track in the town Pikes Peak, and then it's just a short track.
Huh.
But ultimately, I think that's all I got. You got any closing statements?
I'd like to thank Lionel Racing hopping on board, and glad I got them some, valuable lap sled, and really thanks to BTB Motorsports, of course, for giving us a good car. Fortunately, couldn't get it to victory lane this time around, but hopefully sometime in my career, hopefully I'll get it there one day.
All right. Well, that's all I got for you. And will you be racing Norrell tomorrow?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see you then.
Yep.
Adios.
Yep.
User was moved out of your channel.
All right. Like I said, I thought I seen Gino Gallagher and or it wasn't Gallagher, it was Gino Blake and Sebastian Amaya in the waiting room. I don't know if they were wanting to be broadcasted or not, but ultimately they're not there now, and I guess they weren't interested. So other than that, that's all I got. Gnarl's going to Daytona tomorrow. Get ready for that. And other than that, we will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and if you see a pothole on the road, try not to hit it, but don't swerve into an oncoming car to avoid it. It's just a random word of advice that just popped out of my head for no reason. So if anybody needed to hear that for whatever reason, that's just something that popped in my head.